And it says we're live.
Yeah,
It lies.
At least we have consistency. Ian's stunt double is setting in momentarily here while Ian unwinds.
Yes, he walked in stabby just now. So
There's all the crap.
right.
Whatever the hell we're doing,
To
donate
keep
to the blanket fort.
the cold air going so they can keep going with hot air.
Yeah.
Yes.
And King Harv's.
Yes. Good coffee.
Good
Call them for
coffee.
coffee.
Apparently
Blanket
some
fort.
new things coming, maybe, quote unquote. We shall see.
Hopefully.
And big shout out to Carlton for the donations.
And toys for Ian.
And toys
Apparently
for you.
toys for me.
Would you like to change seats?
I actually read Anderson's books many, many years ago, but I will definitely go back and reread these and laugh, because one of them is Hurricane Hunters and the other one is The Goonie Birds from Vietnam days.
Had a sweater. I just had a shower and I was sweating pissed off.
So
What the hell is this thing?
I don't know. It's your toy.
Open it and find out.
Two of them just alike, which concerns me.
Probably to see if you can break one of them before you break the other one.
They look like magnet things. Oh yes, there's magnets. Oh, puzzle cubes. Oh, those are fun.
And away he goes.
What the shit?
So he's going to be occupied for the next few hours. Well done, Carlton.
Yes.
The fuck?
Ooh, those are fun. You can make all sorts of designs.
And
with
he
those.
has now ripped it apart.
Well, they'll be quiet. They're quiet, but they'll be quiet when they break in a bit, I think.
And he launched it to the couch.
If you read the instructions on the back, it tells you all the fun things you can do with it.
I don't need any instructions.
Famous last words.
Here, let me see it before you break it so I can at least show that it's a puzzle cube that does many things.
Mhm. You can make it
And it
into
all
fun
folds
designs.
back up somewhere or the other, like
into a
that.
square. Yes. So you can do
Okay,
Maybe.
books.
books. We
That's
have
what we were supposed to be talking about today.
it's
Anyway,
Book Tuesday.
got a few friends with books out. Holly Chisholm has put out the third book in her
And her
Schrodinger's Paradox Entanglement, which finishes up the series. It's a good little book. I was very, very happy to be the beta reader on that. Fred Hughes just published the sixth book in his Prince of Britannia series called Prince Liberator.
That looks fun.
Yeah. DJ Butler's got another one, another tale of indigent and fix out called Between Princesses and Other Jobs.
That's fun.
And last but not least, our own Kelly Grayson has finally, after 10 years,
Is he in the chat?
Huh?
Is he in the chat?
Not yet, put out the companion to En Route, which is called On Scene.
Mm-hmm.
So more stories of life, death, and everything in between from him.
I would also like to point out that our own Dave Freer
Yes.
Yes.
scored a major coup.
He won the Prometheus Award for Cloudcastles.
Mm-hmm.
Which I believe, didn't Cedar do the cover for that?
I think so.
Yep.
Maybe.
And that is a fun little book.
It is a fun book. I got to beta read it. He said, well, because it is a very Australian book, and he sent it to me and saying, "Hey, will Americans not understand a bunch of this?" I'm like, "Dude, this is awesome."
Yeah.
Publishing, yeah.
I broke it.
You did not. It's supposed to do that.
It's annoying the crap out of me.
It's working.
Nope, we're done.
And that one goes to the couch.
So Cedar did the design. The art was done by Dave's friend. Okay, so yeah, it was.
Yeah. So I have diversions in the queue to publish, hopefully this week. Many thanks to the alpha and beta readers.
Oh, you can connect them?
They're
can connect them.
magnets.
Now he's looking at the instructions.
Ooh.
And off he goes to pick them up. Yes. So yeah, the new Fae Wars anthology. Is that out or is that coming out?
They don't connect.
I don't remember. It's coming out. Okay.
They're not connecting.
Okay, it'll be August 1st. So yeah. Cedar's got stuff in that. James has got stuff in that. It looks really fun. So okay, it's on pre-sale. So
Yeah, we also are. Would you take those away from him? He's making noise again.
They're not connecting at all. Look. They're not connecting.
I have to show
These
you
toys are broken.
Is it toys or the operator?
Hush.
I think these are operator errors. See, you can make fun little designs. Like this is cool. So we have
That's about what he's doing, Dawn.
What?
One in each hand and trying to crash them together. Yes.
yes. That's actually exactly what he was doing. What? You know, there's two of them, right?
They're in the toy box. You get soft toys. Give me the other one.
Fine.
You can have a badger today.
A badger today, yes. And we have Cedar here
Yeah,
joining
we have,
us.
We have Cedar, the
And
Cedar.
Sarah.
And Sarah. And our Sarah Clifford here today. So yeah, we're
What?
this is just ADD moment. So
So anyway, we have
Yes.
the library anthology that closes the end of August. That is the oil field anthology, 1890s to 1930s, preferably Texas, but we'll take any oil field.
Any old patch.
And it can be anything. It can be a love story, a hate story.
Trust me, the old patch is open for noir.
Yeah,
mhm.
it's definitely open for noir.
I need to do more research. I might actually have time to write a story for this one. Currently having time to write a story.
And it's also quite interesting.
There you go.
My dad actually was involved in the North Texas oil field back in the early 1900s, so I kind of have to write a story around that. He got smart after watching a couple of guys get killed and moved over to the pipeline side
Hmm.
and spent the rest of his career doing that. Dave wants to know, speaking of noir, will there be a Cats in Noir anthology?
Actually, for 2024, we're looking at Moggy Noir. That'll be another Rita.
That's another Rita one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's we have a meeting this month to discuss scheduling of future anthologies. And
The ones that you know about.
oh my god. See, we had a preliminary schedule kind of worked out, just kind of like where we could add stuff in and then people talked to us and sent emails, which is good because we remember them all now.
Yeah.
So yes, there will likely be a Moggy's Noir.
The way we're going, at least one.
At least one, probably two. Just because helping prospect with
Prairie Gothic, yeah, that would also work for the oil patch.
yeah, that would work really well for that.
Kermit, I know where you live.
What'd Kermit do? Oh.
If we're if we're honest with ourselves, what is our current capacity?
Oh,
that
good.
is
We're still finding that out, actually.
excellent question, Wallbanger. So and no, like really, it is a serious question. It's we're testing limits right now. We can do 2 a month for sure. Beyond that, we actually start having the problem of diluting our brand, which is what some other publishing companies have done. and we're in the ramp up stage where I have to put in a whole bunch of work to get to it. But our current capacity, we're actually with the equipment that we have, the people that we have, and the time that we have, we can reliably do 2 a month, and that's what we're scheduling for next year. But we have so many ideas
Oh my god.
that we're scheduling into 2025.
Yeah, at this point we're going to have to because we have to
Because-
make space for seconds because we have many
Mhm.
ideas that are going to generate a second volume.
Yeah.
So your production manager pops on to the live stream.
And also, honest to God, we're still in the finding out phase of the whole thing.
Yeah, we're still
we don't
building
really
stuff.
know what our limits are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
So
we're still building and we're still expanding. And have we mentioned the
no, we haven't talked about him
Mention
yet.
what?
The explosives guy.
yeah.
Oh,
In-
might as well.
I don't know.
Courtney's getting a new toy.
We-
I'm getting a toy. I mean, we're getting an intern.
yes, we are actually getting an intern.
I'm leaving.
Interactive Press is getting an intern, an unpaid intern. Intern Steve will show up in January.
Yes. And so we're working out the
And run
details
screaming
now.
into the night as soon as he figures out what he's dealing with.
His first interview was not quite what he expected.
No, I can imagine that. I wasn't even there for it.
Nope,
So
I was.
Yeah, it's tempting to it is very tempting to try and scale, but at our current, we
don't know. We simply
we don't
don't
know.
know a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, we have a vision and we have a feel that for things that we want to do, and I could hire a dozen people to come work for us, but they wouldn't.
Get paid.
Yeah, at least part of it is they wouldn't get paid. But we were training people into how we're doing these things and how we want things to feel. And it's a lot of work. And, a lot of people would say, I really want to help. I really want to join. I really want to do all this stuff. I go, great, here, go do this. And they'll go, oh,
Yeah.
Because I've seen people do that when I've interned at a small press.
Well, intern Steve
Mhm.
is not getting paid. Actually, the U.S. military is going to pay intern Steve
Yeah.
for 6 months.
I'm fan of this program.
Yeah, well,
Someone
we
else pays our
like this
interns.
program.
I like our interns getting paid.
Now, what I like is the fact that if we can not break intern Steve,
I'm not breaking into. Intern Steve is an EOD tech. If I can break intern Steve, it's going on my resume. Thank you.
if you break intern Steve, DoD won't recommend it anymore. And I'd really like to milk that DoD program for more interns.
Anybody want to bet 90 days or less?
Yes,
Who will?
Gilbridge.
Yes, Gilbridge.
What does intern Steve do for Uncle Sugar?
EOD.
EOD.
Mhm.
He's going to be a little twitchy.
Oh, I know he watches Cedar. This is gonna be fun.
This is why we're telling her about intern Steve.
And I see my editor is on here. She goes, sorry, I'm a little late. Reminder didn't go off. Yeah, right. You're hungover from having to edit that crap that I sent you.
But it's almost done, right?
Huh?
It's almost done, right? We're ready to go.
It's posted. I'm just waiting on the cover to hit. And Amazon bent me over and didn't use the lube again.
Loved him long time.
Yeah. Ordered books to take to Imaginarium, and guess what I got this morning from Amazon? Oh, we're sorry, they won't be delivered till the 17th.
Well, they also told me that for
They were supposed to deliver on the 14th.
disregard.
Well, hopefully they get here on the 13th and we can throw in the back of our car.
Yeah.
So
Ah,
So we're going to treat intern Steve nicely so that he will say nice things about us to DOD and they will send us more interns. We can abuse those. Let's treat intern Steve nicely.
yes,
And
fool them
they're
into
all
thinking
going to
we're
be intern Steve because squirrels.
yeah, and yes.
yeah, Ag, I thought 3 weeks was plenty of lead time. Obviously, I was wrong. Not for the first time.
Thanks to CYA.
And it won't be the last time I'm wrong. I tend to make a habit
Yeah.
of that.
3 weeks should have been fine. Like it's been, their printing is borked.
Yeah.
I'll be nice, but 3 weeks should have been fine. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, it's Amazon, so
Yeah, fair.
not much I can do about it.
Anyway, intern Steve is going to take a lot of the pressure off us. We're going to turf social media over to him.
You don't want to get him in trouble with the military before he retires.
No, we'll be very careful to, the skill bridge starts apparently when ETS is or something. I forget. Anyway, so
Well,
I see
we're-
you're being very careful.
we're looking. I will not break intern Steve. I will not get him fired. I will not get him not paid. That is the important part.
yes.
Yeah,
Then
and if it works,
is going to move to Texas.
right?
Oh,
So,
speaking of getting paid,
getting paid is important.
Yes.
yes,
Have fun. Get paid.
the Writers Cantina this past weekend, which
Ah,
we all sadly missed. Dina Campbell put up a presentation called "Business Plan for the Small Author."
It's brilliant.
Yes.
It is brilliant. It is available under Writers Dojo
Mhm.
on Facebook. If you are not familiar with it, go get a friggin' copy
Mhm.
because she put a lot of things in there that hit directly on what you, as a small business person, need to know.
It was, and she knows a lot about. Part of her day job is
Yeah.
doing the books and stuff. So this is not only well within her wheelhouse, it is very well thought out, and she's done a great job learning how to do all this. So highly recommend. Because you never stop learning. I learned a couple things out of it, little
Yeah.
details and stuff
if you
that
stop learning, you start dying.
pretty much. The opposite of
And-
growth is stagnation. Stagnation leads to death.
Yeah, if you're not following Writers Dojo, you should be. And
Yes.
Yes, because we'll be on there.
donate money to them.
Yeah, we'll be on there.
Yeah, you finally got on there. I never will, but that's beside the point.
I beg to differ, sir.
Hey, Rita.
I beg to differ, sir.
And
You just have to get you all in the same place at the same time.
Kermit
That's-
says maybe an obsession of hatred, but still. Yeah.
The monkeys.
Monkeys are evil. They are Satan's
Yes.
oven mitts.
Jesse says, why is your intern ask for a bump in security clearance so I can stop having to leave the room when the stories get good?
It's fascinating to watch them not talk about things.
Who?
You all sitting out on the porch and realize that, oh, okay, can't talk about this, can't talk about this. So, you like stop a sentence and then move on to the next part of the story. And
Yeah.
it's just fascinating to watch it happen.
Some of us are slightly paranoid and the statute of limitations has not run out yet.
I'm not disagreeing.
Official Secrets Act.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's fascinating to watch.
70 years plus lifetime.
Mhm.
So not many of us will be around.
No. It's like Brian Nad had a fascinating Substack on the left's obsession with denying that human trafficking in children takes place.
Yeah.
It's like I typed out 3 paragraphs, then hit delete.
Yeah.
I can't.
Because you can't talk about that.
Shit,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, and Brian's another one. If you've not read his Substack, go read it.
hmm
Oh yeah, Brian Nad, GNAD, Brian Nad,
Yeah.
really good. The Bubba Speaks, I think, is
Yeah.
Wisdom of the Bubba Speaks, something or other.
Something like that. Yeah. He's a fantastic writer, and he's finally
He finally got a short into one of our
yeah,
postcards.
the Single Servings of Liberty will feature Brian Nad's first work of fiction.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
very
Rick.
excited.
Your sub is razor blades and you still can't talk about what you did. Well, self-protection does come into play with submariners.
hmm
Of course, it's always funny to walk by a submariner, look at a fruit salad and go, oh, Fargo? And watch them go.
How long till you can talk about that, Ian? You're gonna need a Ouija board.
Yes, Padre.
Really, Kermit.
What's Kermit done this time? Oh.
Yeah.
Dad did things in the 50s
Oh, yeah.
that
So
you couldn't talk about.
Lifetime plus 70.
Hey, Tom. And Tom Rognaby's on here.
Speak of the devil and smell the sulfur. Wow.
Yeah.
so speaking of military things we can't talk about, we can talk about Space Marines too.
Woohoo!
What's that like that transition?
I love that so much. Zing.
Jim wrote the intro for our Space Marines too, which I very much appreciate. Thank you.
I would have liked to have edited a little bit other than just whack.
Well, that's what you get when you do with us. There you go. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and it was one of those. Okay, so who's got the intro? Who did we ask to do an intro?
We didn't. Shit.
Well, Jim said he has time to work on 4 short stories. Maybe he has time to do an intro too.
So I wrote the intro in about 2 hours.
And it was great.
Which is 90 minutes longer than the intros I generally do.
It's a good intro, and it gives
really
a good
is.
feel for where we're going with the Space Marine stories. And
We are going to have a Space Marines 3.
we are gonna have Space Marines 3. Working on talking to Maggie about getting a story for that too. Besides the extra comments at the end, I'm gonna give you comment buttons and stickers you can just give
Yeah.
to people.
Tom says, Miss Segway, blue courtesy phone. Oh,
If Maggie Hogarth will send me stories, we will publish them. I
Yeah.
don't care. We'll figure it
We'll
out.
find a way.
Yeah, we'll stick them in
There are some people who I will find a way to work
Mhm.
with what they've got, what they do, and I've loved everything Maggie's written. She's
Maggie's good people.
fantastic. Oh yeah, and she's good people. But I was a fan before I got to meet her, and then she was like a real person. Like, oh my god, I don't fangirl over many people. I fangirled over Maggie. That was cool. Yeah,
and
there shall be commas.
Jim Kerr's Compendium. There shall be commas.
yeah,
Oh,
So, but Space Marines 2 is launching the end of this week. We're going to
it'll be our Imaginarium launch.
it'll be our Imaginarium launch.
I'm going to Imaginarium to poach new authors.
Yep, and hopefully we're going to meet a whole bunch of them because the stuff at Imaginarium just looks so cool. There's a bunch of panels that I want to go to. There's a couple I want to be on. But I've got my panel schedule. I'm doing 2 panels, which is great.
Yeah, me too. I'm doing 2 panels.
David make him both.
What?
IT guy and an armorer. That'll screw
Okay.
people up.
Do it. Write it.
Space Marine, IT, and armor at the same time.
I mean, at some point, IT has to go with armor, right?
If your armor's got any sort, and it will, any sort of software in it, you
Yeah.
have to have your IT guy.
You're gonna have to have your IT
Yeah,
guy. So that's
If every Marine's a rifleman,
Yeah.
your IT guy's a rifleman too.
I do have to tell one funny true story about the Marines and riflemen. A friend of mine his older brother went into the Marines during Vietnam. He went in right at the tail of Vietnam. And since he'd been a musician through high school and part of college, they stuck him in the Marine band at Buford,
Okay. Like you do.
the concert version Marine band at Buford.
Okay.
So they had to go play a graduation at Paris Island.
Okay.
But they hadn't done their quarterly qualifications with the rifles. So they sent the entire band to the rifle range
All right.
and then put them on helicopters to take them to Paris Island.
Oh, their hearing was all sorts of foolhardy.
And the general was less than complimentary of their performance, saying that they were the worst Marine band he'd ever heard because they were all out of tune.
Their hearing was shot.
And when they got back to the base, they, needless to say, got their butt chewed. And the band director, who was apparently a master gunner,
Uh-oh.
went in and had words with the general.
And the general listened.
And the general went, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yes, Master Guns. No, Master Guns. Sorry, Master Guns.
And he said they literally changed their schedule so that when they had a qualification requirement, they had 4 days of no performances, 2 days either side, so they could get their qualification and get their hearing back.
Yeah, because oh. Hmm.
Yeah.
Raptor says, sorry I'm late. Busy work. Calling it a sparkle moment. And I'm screaming. I love the fact that Cedar sent some covers for some cover
Oh my
ideas
god.
for the first Spurgle Chronicles. So I copied a couple of them and sent to a
Mhm.
colleague of mine
Oh
and
no.
said, hey, does this remind you of somebody? And all I got was LOL for about 90 lines.
David, there's a lot of choices out there these days. Feltor is still good. There are better ones. Of course, better is how much more money do you want to spend? Of course, the other side of that question is, how good is your hearing and how much do you value it? And if you're me, I wish I could go back about 50 years and beat on my younger self and go, Ear Pro, you dumbass.
Mhm.
I know you're not going to stay away from explosives, but double up on the Ear Pro.
It's important.
I'm not staying away from explosives.
Yeah.
I should have doubled up on the Ear Pro.
Yeah.
And Wally says about you can in a marching band you can over practice, and you can. And there's reason why at some of the big state competitions I would wear earplugs. Because I played the tuba and hung out with all the tuba players. Like if I didn't wear earplugs at the competitions, I was gonna be deaf for the next month. And working with guns and explosives all day, I can't imagine is any better. So yeah, keep your hearing as long as possible.
The thing about auditory exclusion, when you're under high stress, when you're under high stress, that sometimes you don't hear loud noises.
Yeah.
But your ears do.
Yeah.
And while your software, your wetware may not be processing it, it's still wrecking your ears.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm shooting, I don't hear the gunshot.
Mm-mm.
If I'm doing it, I never hear the gunshot. Yeah.
Under certain circumstances, I don't hear the gunshot.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, Winkle Red, double hearing protection is your friend. Back in the 70s, the quote unquote Mickey Mouse ears that we had were Mickey Mouse, to put it mildly.
Does everybody remember those yellow-green boxes you hung from the front of your BDUs?
Oh, yeah.
That your earplugs went in?
Yeah.
I missed those. Were decent earplugs. I missed those earplugs.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, 3M sent out some double one earplug fits all.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Which apparently just really goobered a bunch of vets.
Mm-hmm.
Tom says, all I hear when I'm shooting is your inner voice screaming, you suck, you suck, you suck. Yeah.
Damn it.
But literally sticking my head up in the jet engine to do things.
Oh, turret whine.
Huh?
Turret whine off M3 Bradleys.
Yeah. And now 60 plus years of shooting.
You hit the giggle switch and high-speed slew on the turret.
Yeah.
And
it wipes out the female voices. Auditory exclusion is a thing, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to, about the second time I had to do a high-speed slew or command override slew on a turret, I went back to my duffel bag, got out my box of earplugs, put my earplugs in under my CVC helmet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've lost the same range as you guys. Not quite as bad as you have.
Yeah.
So it's not that I can't hear it; it's that it's annoying. It's just present enough that it irritates the crap out of my back brain.
That and the chain gun going off. You're not supposed to be able to. It's not the inside of the turret's supposed to lower the sound of the 25 millimeter going off enough that it's safe.
Yeah.
Tom, I will try, but there's a thing called Aviators Loop, which also goes into a number of other various things, and it's nominally considered to be 3 to about 6 to 8,000 hertz,
Mm-hmm.
which is the primary voice range for female voices.
Mm-hmm.
And what
Especially
really
sopranos.
bit me in the butt was,
Especially for sopranos.
yeah,
Sopranos.
what really bit me in the butt was masking for COVID, because
I didn't.
by default I lip read.
Mhm.
And I never realized how much I lip read
No.
until I couldn't see what their lips were moving. I couldn't hear what they were saying. And I'm having to ask these women, excuse me, but I can't hear you. Could you
Nice.
either change your voice, speak lower pitch, or take your mask down so I can see what you're saying? And some of the responses I got were rather interesting.
Well, the Cedar.
Okay, whatever
and
you said, lady.
Rita and Cedar have soprano voices.
Yeah.
Cedar's is softer than Rita's.
Yeah.
And I was noticing the other day we were at your house.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people, and I was talking to Cedar, and I was having to watch her mouth.
Yeah.
Because the voices, all everybody else's voices, and my hearing loss, I could not figure out what the hell she was saying.
Well, and part of that too is the tendonitis.
No.
Yeah. Answer that phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And of course, the other one is 8-year-old daughter. Squeals can be painful. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Teenage or younger children squealing. Yes.
I can tell that Rita's saying something. I can tell Cedar. I can tell women are saying something.
Yeah.
It's just it's.
You get the
one
wow,
sound.
wow, wow,
No,
wow.
I can't. The
Yeah.
number of times I have to tell Rita, huh? Baby, what'd you say? Especially if she's in another room.
Yeah.
It's like, damn it.
Yeah, and projecting does help, but it's turning to them so you can look at them. So one of the things we learned with my daughter is that, and she had meltdowns from masks because she's 50% hearing loss in one ear, 75% hearing loss in the other ear. She has Bluetooth hearing aids, so when she's at school, her teacher wears a box that talks into her and she talks directly into her ears.
Yeah.
But if you're out in public, she can't hear certain directions.
Yeah.
And if you're not looking at her, she gets very frustrated and confused. It's better now. She'll be 13 this year. But when she was younger, it was just it was very hard for people, especially she doesn't like beards because she can't see their mouths move.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's having to, and this is what you do, is she's making up for the things that she can't hear by what you're saying, by what your what sounds what shapes your mouth is making, so she can kind of understand the conversation. But if she can't hear
That's
that, you're
what I do.
taking away 50% of her ability to communicate.
And Cedar asked if talking louder would help. No. Trust me.
No, it really doesn't.
Trust me. My opera trained little lady can project like a son of a gun. Rita
Mhm.
can project, and it's I've lost those parts of my hearing.
Somebody else that's really bad for us is Sarah Clitheroe.
She has such a low voice and she's so soft spoken.
Yeah.
And I like having her sitting right next to me when she's talking,
Yeah.
because then I can hear her and I understand, because she is hysterically funny and just witty. And I love talking to her, but it's also like we cannot have noise while I'm talking to her because she's very quiet.
R.W. Carter says, yeah, the other problem is short women because other things come into view. Yes. So we get accused whether we are looking at them or not.
I'm trying to make eye contact. Your eyes are not that far off.
It's in the view.
It's right there.
And I'm always worried. And I did it at Liberty. As I look back, I realized I was doing it at LibertyCon, and I'm hoping that I wasn't creeping people out.
Yeah.
Because LibertyCon was loud this year.
Oh yeah.
It was loud. It was very loud.
And I was talking to Sarah Hoyt and a couple other ladies, and I was from me to you at this range, I was having to look at their mouths
Yeah.
because the surrounding noise was washing everything out.
Well, and Kermit makes a great point. I can hear a single foot kicking a rock or breaking a stick at 100 yards, but I can't understand somebody talking to me 5 feet away.
Mhm.
If it's quiet, I can hear all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If
Except the voices that are in that auditory range.
except Rita's voice, I can hear the train. I can hear crickets, all that. It's when other noises are in the background. It's overloading something in my
Mhm.
hearing circuits.
Yep. It's always distractions.
Yeah, and other conversations are.
I love Sir
Yeah.
Brass. Some people need to come with subtitles. Yes.
Mhm. That'd be helpful.
You don't want mine.
We know what yours are.
Yes.
External dialogue, not internal dialogue.
Mhm.
Yes. Good point.
Yeah, and honestly, for me, babies crying, I can hear them 2 rooms away, and it sets my teeth on edge. I I'm really good at getting kids to calm down because I can't deal with crying children. It sets me on edge so badly that I have to step outside.
Crying children do that to me. Also whining.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's just, and I don't think that some folks close to me understand. There's just something about the whining tone of voice
Mhm.
that just gets a hold of that one nerve,
Mhm.
and monkey screws it into a football. It's like, whoa!
One of the great things about my kids when they were younger is everybody around them had hearing aids. I swear to God.
Lloyd Beam is the gentleman in the background.
Yes.
What?
Sarah wanted to know who was in the
Who's
background.
our spare? We've got
Get Lloyd. Yes.
We have a peanut
Lloyd is
gallery.
here. But we talked to my kids. I told them, okay, so this hearing aid lets us hear you. It can't hear whining.
Yeah.
So if you whine, it won't pick it up, and no one will understand what you're saying. So I broke my children of whining at like 3. It was so great.
Oh, Tom says there's the fact that an Irish woman has no internal voice, so there's no filter, and I have to make sure I try to hear everything she says. Some of it is bound to be important.
That goes with all females.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
You have to hear everything they say.
I will eventually drop.
Women don't communicate the same way guys do. They're a lot more verbal. Guys do a
Yeah.
lot more physical communication.
Yeah.
Women do a lot more verbal
Yeah.
communication.
That's true. You guys are very different. You're also very direct.
Yeah.
So when you're a direct woman, people are like, where the hell did you come from? So
Also, with guys,
Yes.
we can
Yeah.
we can clip along every third word along
Yeah.
with body language. We know exactly
Yeah.
what the other guy's saying.
Yeah.
Women, you need to hear 9 out of 10 words. Otherwise, that one word is going to
Mhm.
screw you all up.
I gotta
And-
tell you, that's why I don't have a lot of women friends, because I hate that bullshit. So
Mhm.
oh, sorry, Jim.
Drink warning.
Drink warning. No, I don't. I'm just like whiny,
Damn.
non-specific, I'm fine. Women, I'm just like, can I just backhand you out of your chair, bitch? I just don't like that. It's just really
Well,
annoying.
And
I
so
find myself doing it and get annoyed.
I get
I'm not
over,
going to disagree.
I get overstimulated easy, and one is I'm processing a whole bunch of external stuff all at once.
Mhm.
Apparently, I process a lot more external stuff than most people do.
Mhm.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
But
Can't imagine. It was never important.
yeah, exactly. So when I'm, whining is just that one extra thing when I'm processing 80 lines of data. The whining is just that one thing that overloads me.
Yeah.
And I cannot stand
Mhm.
whining.
Well, it tends to be a signal that someone is in distress without giving off other signals of distress.
It's a signal of distress when we're not really in distress.
Yeah.
Which really, I suspect that's one of the things that just sets my teeth on edge. Is I'm reacting to a distress data for
Mhm.
somebody that's not distressed.
Yeah.
Which really.
And then there's Dawn's comment. I'm not fine, but I don't want to talk about it. And that drives us guys nuts.
Mhm.
If you got a friggin' problem, tell us.
And
This
sometimes
I got a
it's-
secret shit don't work with men.
It's just bullshit.
Thank you.
Sometimes I have a problem and I don't know how to verbalize it yet. So
That's
I'm still
understandable.
working through it in my brain. And that's what
That's
women are actually trying to say, but they're not saying it. It's that I don't want to talk about it. It's like, no, I have a problem. I don't know how to verbalize it yet. I will let you know when I do, as opposed to, well, I'm just not going to tell you, which is not what they're trying to do most of the time. But they're not communicating right. They're communicating like they would to another woman.
And Dawn goes to all caps. You can't solve the problem. And if I talk about it, it will be more upsetting.
There is some of that too.
Yeah.
Like it's, I'm pissed off because I'm having a bad brain day. And
Okay.
okay,
There's chocolate and coffee.
there are solutions to that.
See, either that or just tell me to fuck off and die. I don't care.
No, I have
That too.
provided a solution. I am now happy.
Yeah.
I'm having a bad day. Here's chocolate and hot chocolate. I have provided a solution. My guy brain is happy now. I'll go off and do other things.
Yeah.
Mhm. Although, what specific with what Dawn's going through right now, though, is she doesn't want to answer questions about her mom because it's going to
Yeah.
frustrate her, and there are no other answers to what she has right now. She doesn't want to talk about it, but everybody wants to keep asking because she's the only source of information,
Yeah.
which is tiring and exhausting. And yes, the question you asked earlier, Dawn, make a sign, put it up so people can read what's going on.
Yeah.
and don't have to talk
No,
to you.
and-
They're going to talk to you anyway.
Dawn did the
But-
problem solve. She did the I have a problem, solve it for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She said I got a text that said, "Hey Ian, when you have a moment, free time, can you call me?" And if I had known, I would have called her quicker.
Mhm.
So I had a free moment, called her. She said, "I need you to disperse amongst the tribe this news.
This information.
There's a problem. I can work on it." Yes.
I have a solution. Yes.
Yeah, the answer is
Yeah.
always hurry up and wait. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah. This,
Yeah.
It didn't. She says it didn't matter how quick you called.
mhm. Yeah. And I can appreciate that there are things that aren't time sensitive. And sometimes you have to talk it out to get there. And Jordan Peterson actually talks about that. We verbalize and we interact with people to get to a solution. The number of times I've had to rubber duck at a person so I could watch their face, and I got the information from watching their face. Like, I know the solution now. You know what rubber ducking is, right? Oh, someone doesn't know what rubber ducking is. So it's a thing in IT. When you have a problem and you need to talk it out with somebody, you put a rubber duck on your computer and you explain the problem to the rubber duck. And in the process of explaining the problem to the rubber duck, you find the solution.
That's actually brilliant.
So,
and also the fact everybody in all the cubes around are going, what about?
and they will pop up with a solution
Yeah.
sometimes. And sometimes it's I need to talk to somebody and watch their face.
Yeah.
So I go, that's where I had the problem. And then I know where to go.
Yeah.
And it's I don't need you to solve it for me. I need to solve it for myself, but I need the reaction on your face to let me know where the where I had the problem.
I like Ag's comment. I look like Santa Claus, especially in a red shirt. Grocery store mom had her boy melting down. He walked up. I walked up, shook my head, pulled out my tablet, and started tapping while saying naughty.
That's
Kids
brilliant.
shut right up. And the mom mouth, thank you.
Mhm.
Will rubber ducks be thrown imaginary?
Yeah.
Probably not.
We're taking rubber ducks.
We are taking
We're
okay.
taking rubber ducks. We haven't decided how we're going to throw them at people yet, but
That
yes,
was-
we will have.
Kind of the drive-by ducking is I think is at dedicated raconteur panels, because one of my panels at Imaginarium is over police forensics, and I'm going to take over that fucking panel. Yeah,
You got it on a panel?
yeah, two.
Police forensics.
We
I got none.
well, you're there because you're an award winner.
Yeah.
Yes, we've decided that you're the winner.
I doubt it.
But if you're not nominated for an award, in order to get there, you have to be on the
In
panel,
order, in
so.
order to get a less expensive ticket, you have to be on panels. So I've got a forensics one. I don't think the moderator of the forensics panel is going to understand if I yell, "And you get a duck!" and fling a duck at the
Why not?
crowd.
Well, we're hosting BarCon with Hillbilly, so we can have those there and throw them at people.
Oh, Padre, that's a tad strange.
Mhm.
Chaplain's assistant, who had a previous chaplain, who tried to give him instructions of the day through a teddy bear.
Somebody's family crest has a jacket that the arms tie in the back.
Yes, most definitely.
So I will say that in child psychology, when you're talking to kids who've gone through trauma,
Oh, yeah.
having them talk to the doll
Yes.
instead of you, I don't
But
understand
not
why you would do that
fully
as an
grown
adult.
chaplains.
I don't know why you would do that as an adult. I just don't. It seems odd.
I thought it was funny.
She was interesting. She probably treated everybody like children. There's women who do that, and it's the only way they can interact with people. It's very strange.
Padre says, I knew that chaplain. She was ... interesting ...
Okay, so the rubber ducky song in German was
It's terrifying.
yes,
Everything's terrifying in German.
but hysterically funny.
The word for ambulance in German just, oh my God.
Yeah, they're German's just interesting.
At BarCon, I won't mind flinging rubber ducks, but
Yeah,
the
we'll have I think the ducks are becoming a thing. We'll do the
it's definitely a raconteur thing. Oh, the forensics.
I don't know. I saw a Jeep go by the other day with the entire,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the entire
But as far as
dash lined with
yeah,
ducks.
that's a Jeep thing. But as far as conventions go, we're follow the ducks. That's where we are.
Yeah.
So, and the Spurglemans, yeah. Depending on the panel, there will be. I have Spurglemans to chuck at people too. I need to pick up some more.
I need a slingshot.
No, you don't.
No, we're going
Duck
to get
launcher.
catapults.
Yeah,
You do not need a friggin' slingshot.
yeah, I do.
No.
That or a T-shirt launcher. I'm not sure
So,
which, because I was looking at the auditoriums at the Nigerian Hotel are big. I'm not sure
They're
about the
not
range.
that big.
Yeah, but I have a T-shirt cannon.
Those are designed
Boom.
to launch T-shirts 100 yards.
We will hurt
Have a duck.
people. You know what? I'm gonna have to practice. I think I might get my arm back.
Sarah's right. No, Ian, no slingshots. We want to keep our fans, not break them.
If they're breakable by way of rubber duck, they need to harden them up.
So I've actually used spoons for improvised catapults. So we might.
I'm gonna have a catapult. It's gonna be a catapult.
We actually we set it up with like a base and like fling things at people. Yeah.
I'm gonna pull a string and the whole table's gonna rock.
They make those.
And somebody's gonna get ground zero with an angry duck.
So yes, weapons. The dog ball throwers. I was actually thinking about those. That'd be fun.
No, God, don't give him any ideas, Dawn.
I need a quack bang if I'm getting a series of quack bangs. I'm getting rubber, because you know a M67 frag grenade will fit in a chuck it dog ball thrower, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I've seen the video.
I'm not going to say how I know that works. Fucking Marines.
Speaking of, we have the Space Marines coming out.
I love
Sorry.
I love the fact that they're giving Marines offensive grenades that you can screw together.
Oh God.
Yes, apparently maximum of 4, and I know for a fact that some enterprising young E4 or E3 is going to screw about 6 of them or 8 of them together and see if they can jam and launch an entire offensive grenade.
Yeah.
And I want to be there and videotape it.
I just the screw
will be
together
awful.
parts. How
Yeah.
long until someone's
Water
Marines.
balloon launcher.
Oh yeah.
Dawn, how many years have I known you? Yes, I know you're good at that shit.
she sent me a T-Rex gun that I need it so bad.
The Sparkle Awards. When your failure to rise to the occasion is especially spectacular. Whoop. Okay, and the cookbook. Cookbook is going to be a later thing.
Yeah, it's in
Rita
process.
is currently up to her precious little hips in reading the Moggy Space Moggy stuff.
Yes, they're delightful.
And then we got enough for 2.
Yes.
So when she gets done with the first one, she'll start on the second one.
Mhm. So the cookbook thing, one of the things we're doing together with that is, so I think the best way we're going to start kind of working through that is going to be on the Discord. There is a Raconteur Press Discord. I have not invited anybody to it yet because I don't want to deal with it. So
Am I going to have to download Discord?
no,
Okay.
you're not required to be on this. So far as we've
Okay.
used mod chat to talk amongst the editors, and that's the only people who are on it currently. I'm going to need to get moderators before I do anything because I do not have time to run a Discord.
So
I looked at I actually looked at my schedule this week, and aside from Imaginarium, I have 80 hours worth of work to do.
Yeah. So anyway,
So-
on the
And-
cookbook thing,
Yeah.
Rita will be doing the cookbook probably in 4th quarter of this year. I'd like to get it out for Christmas to be a Christmas gift.
Jonna says, let me get the email address up. She'll do that today.
Yeah, there will be a special email address for the cookbook. Yes, Wallbanger, if you would like to be a moderator, send me a message on at the Rack Press editor.
You poor dumb bastard.
Hard
we'll talk.
sucker.
You poor dumb bastard.
You want it too?
Yeah, Tom, I might be, yeah, we'll see.
No, Cedar, you did not cancel your cookbook for nothing. Oh,
No, we're doing the cookbook. We'll get this because we're going to need a lot of recipes for it, and they're we're trying to figure out how to wrangle them. So we'll have a special.
So Tom just said something very important in the chat
Yes, if you
about a workplace
a workplace.
in Louisville by the pool. I think we're leaving.
What? I missed something. What?
Yeah,
You did not catch that? I caught that.
I see it. Yeah, a workplace and yeah, Tom, I
And there
I
went
might
the
ask for
girls.
space. I have a swimsuit. If
They will come back beat red, ouching all the way, and going, "Oh God, that was so much fun."
I'm scrolling back. What the hell? What?
Tom asked if
I
I needed
missed
a workplace in Louisville. Louisville. I'm working on it. I'll get it right.
Winkle red. We used to
Oh,
tie
wrong spelling, Courtney.
That's okay.
4 PDCs together when we were out playing with the subs, because that was all that we could fit down the free fall chute at the same time. But it did make for an interesting bang when you were good enough to put them in the conning tower and the boat was shallow and then went to depth. It did tend to get their attention. And it might have caused a leak or 3.
I can imagine.
Anyway, so no, we're talking, we're thinking, or I'm thinking right now. This is something we brought up in our July meeting.
Mhm.
THIMK.
Yeah, Thimpkin. The cookbook for Christmas, so it could come out as Christmas presents.
Yeah,
That would work.
I think that's probably what we're looking at.
Rick, that's a good question. I don't know if Cordwainer Smith's stuff is public domain or not.
I actually just read that the other day. The Game of Rat and Dragon. It was a fantastic little story.
We have enough anthologies coming out. We can probably find one anthology, stick it in, and send it.
Well, it's not one of ours. I was
Oh.
reading through old. So one of the things I've been doing, because of the direction we're going with Raconteur Press and all that, is I'm studying the greats and the history of sci-fi as it's been written down so far, and some of the old like really good old anthologies. And there was a Cats in Space anthology that Bain did a while ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Cats in Space and other places they're not supposed to be. And I'm like, we're doing a Moggies in Space. I should see what people have done. So actually, I own a copy of that anthology.
I
was
need
reading
to
through
tell
it.
y'all, every night Rita's been going through the Moggies
Mhm.
tales, and every night she comes in, she's just so thrilled. She's so happy about these stories.
Mhm.
Yes, definitely read Cordwainer Smith. If you have not, go read him.
Yes, fantastic story writer. Getting I'm loving going back through through some of these old stories and
Looks like it depends on when it was published.
The earlier stuff is much better.
Well, it's also public domain earlier.
Yeah.
So.
mhm. Yeah, and having someone who honestly, that's one of the things that we do need to look at. I need to get with Deej because there might be, if we ever get to an anthology where we don't have enough stories to fill it, there's the early pulps had some fantastic stories that are in public domain now. That'll
Going
be
by
a Deej
historical
question.
data, I don't think
We're gonna kind of
we're going to
across
have
that.
for at least 2024. We're not going to have
Yeah.
the issue with not having enough stories.
Right, but it's something. It's actually something I want to talk to Deej and
Space Marines 3.
Deej and Ben Yallo.
Oh, no.
What fantastic stories are in public domain that need to be seen again?
Yeah.
And can we feature them in an anthology? Because part of what we're running into is it just kind of in general is the loss of knowledge, and I'd like to and which is why we did the postcard anthologies. Frederick Brown did his super microfiction, the 50-word short stories were inspired by Frederick Brown, and nobody has heard of him.
Yeah.
So I've gone and downloaded a bunch of his stuff to like, okay, this is what Frederick Brown was writing, and it's fantastic.
Well, Harlan Ellison was a contributor on Babylon 5 to every episode.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah,
Which
we're
is-
definitely going to have a second Monkeys in Space. And what? Did you say?
Yes.
We're doing at least 2 Moggies in space. With the way things have gone, we will likely expand.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Oh God, we may not have enough, and we'll have to use the old pulps that are shorts that are out of copyright.
We may it's not even we not have enough. We might be.
3 Monkeys in Space. 3.
I would like to
Asked
feature.
for 1, got 3.
Quit your bitching.
Not bitching much.
So, but speaking of 3, Space Cowboys 3 closes at the end of the month.
1 and 1, got 3.
Yes, blue screen of Ian. That's exactly what I was looking at right now. So All Will Burn, which is the story which
Casey
is
Hill.
the anthology that Casey Azell pitched at us, closes August 31st. And that is stories of parents or caretakers and what they will do for their children. And it doesn't have to be dark. Okay, I know a lot of people are thinking, end of the world. I will burn everything to save my children. I will start World War III to save my children. I'll dress up.
Given the current kerfuffle,
Mhm.
protecting children in general
Yeah.
is perfectly acceptable. Stories about protecting children in general are perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, and yeah. So protecting children, but it might be your niece doesn't have anybody to wear her clothes for the fashion show. Her best friend backed out, so you get to be the model.
Or you get to a tea party with your,
Mhm.
you sit there in the makeup and the tutu
Mhm.
with your 6-year-old niece at a tea party.
Right. Oh, my son stood in for both his dad and grandfather at my daughter's father-daughter dance this last year, and he had a great time. She had a great time. She had the best looking dad there.
And of
So-
course, we'll also go with face shooting. Shooting people in the face. is
shooting people in the
also-
face and starting and burning a city down. Go for it.
Kermit, write the friggin' novel.
Mm-hmm.
Stop bitching and start writing. Jesus.
Kermit, if it turns into a novel, it turns into a novel. Write the fucking story.
Thank you.
There you go. And
Never happens that way. Never.
and Moggies too. So Cats in Space Moggies
Moggies
Closes
in
at-
space.
closes August 31st as well. So if you have a Space Moggies story, get it in. And yes, we will likely be going to 3. But
And you still owe us.
For 1, got 3.
And you still owe us a world.
yes,
On top of everything else. Yay.
yeah, and we're Yeet cows, the fluffy yeet cows.
Yep.
I know.
Um,
Trust me, I know.
so I know that seems to have been spiraling out a bit.
Yeah.
Sir Brass,
Yes.
funny beard story.
And dark is okay, but
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be dark.
Yeah.
Although I will tell you, since I'm the one who's reading these, if it makes me not want to get out of bed, I'm not accepting it because I got too much shit to do to be depressed. So it has to be at least good enough for me to, because I've done a lot of formatting work for Kelly, and his one of his the perspectives and route is fantastic. His perspective anthology, there was one where it was 2:00 in the morning and I was bawling my eyes out. And I sent him a message. I'm like, this is going to be a day late because I cannot stop crying at your stupid story. So you
anyway, funny story about beards.
oh dear.
A friend of mine down in Australia, chief in the Australian Navy, had a beard for 32 years. Grew it out of boot camp and never shaved. The secretary at Sub 4 in Australia had cancer. So they were doing a donation to raise money to help her pay the bills. So Chief Ball said, well, I'll cut my beard off. Y'all give me enough money. And much like waxing Kelly, they got $5,000 in less than a day. And he went, oh, shit. So he shaved his beard at work. When he came home that evening, his wife looked at him and his kids looked at him and they all went, grow the beard back. And his dog bit him
Dog had poor taste.
because the dog had never seen him without a beard and thought he was an intruder.
One of these days, I'm going to get a wild hair. I'm going to shave off the facial hair just for this podcast, just to watch everybody freak out.
That'll be very weird.
Oh, it's even weirder than you think.
Mhm.
I'm not shaving my mustache. Screw you. I've had this thing since Vietnam.
Yeah, no, it would be very weird. Like,
Oh, it's even weirder than you think.
yeah, no, so my uncle had from the time I was born, my uncle had a full beard. He walked through a plate glass window and had scars, so he grew out the beard, and he had to shave it for something. And he walked in, and I'd known him for 20 years with the beard. It was the weirdest thing to see him walk in without.
Oh,
And, you know,
100%.
And like watched it get gray, and it looked good on him. He was someone who looked good in a beard. Like, he didn't have a chin. Like,
Hang on just a moment.
And on
This
that
is
note,
very
folks,
weird.
I think we're going to call it a day. We will not be here Thursday.
Wait.
uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I've seen that picture. It does not look like you. It does not. That is not you. That is an imposter. That is an Ian imposter.
Anyway, we will not be here Thursday, so you will
Yep.
not see us again for a week.
Yeah. Broadcast will be up tomorrow.
Yep.
We will likely be doing posts from the road for the Raconteur road trip.
Back to the road trip. I'm considering doing a Facebook something or other at word salad. There it is again. At Imaginarium. I'm
Yeah.
considering doing a Facebook or maybe a Nortex Troublemakers thing.
Yeah.
At
If we can set up and not be running at 1,000,000 miles an hour, it might, pop someone's phone on and.
Yeah, the
There's
fact
no
that
bar.
Imaginarium, I've only got 2 panels and they're on Sunday,
Mhm.
makes me think that I'll actually be able to slow down and enjoy this one. I heard that. Dream on. I heard that snicker. Also, my phone is not waterproof. So if you see a lot of splashing and bubbling and then it goes black, we've tried to do it at the pool.
Yeah, you'll not get me in a bathing suit for this at all, ever.
And on that note, folks, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff.
Be safe, guys.
Y'all have a good week.
See ya.
And we'll see you next week.
See you Tuesday.
Thanks for
Try
stopping
this all
by.
over again. As soon as I find out where the hell my mouse went. There it is.